calling it a love song.
What is up, my beautiful gemstones? It's Mary Gem and I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be on what do people think about your voice. Literally, I've been saying I'm going to do this video and I'm so glad that I'm finally doing it. So we've got 6 piles here today, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So we've got pile number 1. You can see it's a black feather and there's like a white background. Okay. We got pile number 2. It's a brown stroke of paint and then you can see the white background. We got pile number 3 and it's a navy blue, like half of a sphere, and you can see also another part, like a gray part. You can see the white background, like it's a bunch of circles. Okay, we got pile number 4. It looks like it's like part from like an ancient door or something, with like you can see like the gray flooring and everything, and like it's really cool actually. Then we got pile number 5. So this is a tree branch. You can see like the different dimensions and everything. You can see part of a flower in the corner. You can see a gray background and also a white background. And then we got pile number 6. So it's a pink background and then you can also see like a white splotch of paint. So yeah guys, these are the 6 piles. Please pick as many as you guys would like. Please watch the entire video as well. I love you loads, and let's get straight into it. What do people think about your voice? What is our pile number 1? Let's get straight into reading. Honestly, I'm super excited. I'm definitely feeling all of the vibes. So yeah, what do people think about your voice? Or, you know, more specifically, what do they think about your voice? So your song is Tomorrow by Annie. And then we also got your channeled message at the back as well. And then also the card that I'm going to be using to channel your energy is the high vibration card, you know. So I feel like immediately you guys have an amazing vibe. I just feel like I don't know if I should say people or they. I'm gonna say people. I feel like when people when people like hear your voice for the first time, they feel like maybe you sing. So maybe like you even could be someone that mumbles a lot, so like you have to articulate your words very clearly, or it just feels like you, when you speak, it just sounds like a song, like it's meant to be, basically, you know. People feel like, yeah, like you just sing when you talk, basically. And I feel like it's a really nice thing. I even get the vibe where it's like there's one specific person, like when they hear your voice, they get really happy. You put them in a good mood, and like your voice can basically brighten up people's days as well. So let's get straight into the cards. The first card that we got is the fire sign Aries. It says, I gave up on that when you did. Okay. The second card we got is more than ready. And then as for the tarot, we got the Wheel of Fortune, we got the 9 of Cups, and then we also got the Queen of Swords that came upright. Ooh. So let's first start with your song and your channel message, and then we'll get more into what do people think about your voice. So it says, the sun will come out tomorrow. Like, guys, I really just feel like people are in a better mood when they hear you like sing, or when they hear you talk. They just love your voice because it always puts them in a better mood. It's like, maybe you're someone that always, like, you even could hate phone calls, but I feel like people, like, they want to call you or they want to video call you, like they want to see you face to face because they just feel like your voice is so personal. So like even when you say people's names, they love it how you say their name, because you say their name in a way where it's like, oh yes, you're talking about me, and it's like, bro, like Shakespeare's busy quaking. I'm being dead ass. So it says, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrows till there's none. Okay. And then your channeled message says, sell me this pen. Oh my gosh. Speak like you're a foreign billionaire. A business, or you're going on a business trip. You're mysterious. You have a very mysterious voice. You could be a singer. Guys, I didn't even read the channel message. I'm being so serious. Like, people see you as being a singer, a writer. They see you as being very talented. And then it says voice acting. And then it also says happy. So pile number 1, literally, I just feel like people see you as having this really energetic, upbeat voice. So, you know, like I said, you could sing. You could be a writer. But it's just like, it's amazing energy. Like, I even feel like my voice is changing just listening to your voice as well. But yeah, people love whenever you say their name out loud as well. But yeah, as for the fire sign Aries, I gave up on that when you did. There's also an energy where it's kind of like, I feel like you can match your voice to who you're busy talking to. So if you're talking to an introvert, or if you're talking to someone that maybe is very soft spoken, it's kind of like you will make your voice less pronounced, or it just feels like your voice changes depending who you're busy talking to. And I feel like people like that about you. So maybe you're someone that has a lot of different accents, or you speak more than one language. And like when you're angry, like maybe you speak Afrikaans, or you speak another language when you're angry. Or it's even small things where it's like I say, maybe if you're talking to someone that's very loud, like you aren't afraid to kind of speak louder, and you aren't afraid to be heard as well for what you want to be said. Like if you want to say something, you're going to say it, and people like that energy about you, or they just feel like your voice, it basically demands to be heard. And then where it says more than ready, people also feel like, because like you could definitely be a writer or a singer or a songwriter or something, people get the energy that you kind of anticipate what people are going to say, or people feel like sometimes maybe you rehearse your lines before you say something, because people just feel like it doesn't make any sense. How do you speak? And it's just like, it makes sense. Like everything you say just makes sense. They're saying like, no, there's no way. Like you must practice in the mirror, or you must have gone to some voice acting. Like they're saying there's no way that this is your natural voice. Like people are saying there's no way, bro, for real. Like I can even see people like saying like, no, like I think that they're acting, or they're trying to put on an accent. Like they definitely don't sound like that. But it's just like this energy where it's like you stay the same authentic person, and I just feel like even when you're tired, you still try to have that energetic voice about you. And then with the Wheel of Fortune, that does talk about change. So I really do feel like people see your voice as, always changing. So when you talk to different people, like your voice will change, your pitch will change, or like you have a very pitchy voice. So maybe it's like when you talk, like you'd be like you talk in a very high pitch, like squeaky voice where it's like, hi. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But like, like I just get the vibe where it's like people might feel like you have a very pitchy voice, very high, like squeaky, like I say, energetic, like a singer, or like even sound like, oh my gosh, like I should have added some like voice demos, but like that's gonna take way too long. But like let me know if I should make another video like this, and I'll add in some examples of like what I think your voice sounds like, or what people get the impression of, because I am getting some Ariana Grande, like Cat Valentine type vibe where it's like, hi guys, like that type of energy where it's very soft but like also very pronounced. And then with the Nine of Cups, people also just feel like you're very comfortable with your words, you're very comfortable with who you are as a person, and it's kind of like people just see you as being someone that's like, when you speak, you don't seem shy, like you don't seem like you're like holding back on anything. Basically, you're ready to speak, and you're ready to do whatever needs to be done. They see you as being high vibrational. And then with the Queen of Swords, they also feel like your voice is very cutthroat. It's kind of like people will either like it or they won't like it, and not in a bad way, but it's just like, especially if you do have a very a high-pitched voice, I feel like some people are kind of like, oh, my ears, like that hurts, like can you just like talk a bit lower? But I feel like other people are kind of like, whoa, damn, like I love your voice, it's so like distinguishable. But yeah, the Queen of Swords just talks about like very seductive, very sexy. So I do also feel like people can kind of imagine you saying like dirty things, or I just feel like the Snapchat filters, like I'm getting something about that as well. Maybe you love sending videos with Snapchat filters, and it's saying don't disguise your voice. If you have an accent, use that accent, speak however you want to be spoken, just speak, bro. But yeah, people definitely do like your voice. And yeah, I was really getting something about like a high-pitched voice. And like if your voice is super low and you're like, what the heck, bro, I feel like some people are still like, no, bro, like you have a very high-pitched voice for real. Because like I'm even seeing all these cups, and I'm just thinking about like if you're a singer, like there's a certain note that you can sing, and like it has the ability, like your voice has the ability to like break glasses, or like cut people off or something, where it's like cutthroat, or like breaking things, like causing things to shatter and like rumble, like the Tower card. Like that's your voice, bro. Like your voice is basically the Tower card. So yeah, that is what I got for pile number 1. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is up, number 2? Let's get straight into your reading. So, what do people think about your voice? Your song is Say Something by A Great Big World, and then we also got your channel message at the back as well. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited, like I don't even know why. But yeah, anyway, so the card that I'm going to be using to channel your energy is the horsing around card. And let me know, comment down below if you know what horsing around is, like let me know. But yeah, anyways, so like some messages that I was busy hearing was something about like people saying you know, like quit playing, like, you know, be serious, like stop playing. So like maybe you're someone that's like, whenever you speak to people, like I just feel like you're very extroverted, and like whenever you talk to people, like you always, like you're just very extra, you know, where it's kind of like maybe you could say the dog was brown. You're not going to say the dog is brown. You're going to say the big, vivacious, brown, succulent dog with the long pink tongue, and like you'll just drag things along. And I just like, people always feel like you basically take the extra step when it comes to talking or something. Maybe you're someone that even if you don't enjoy dominating conversations, people just feel like you have the knack for it, or they feel like you have the vocabulary to also dominate a conversation. And it's interesting because literally the song is called Say Something, you know, and that song's about someone wanting someone to say something. They're saying like, you know, say something, please, like say anything. And I just feel like people want you to say what you're actually thinking, and not what you want other people to hear. But like as for like just your voice in general, I do feel like people just like that you're really interesting, and like your choice of words, and they feel like when you do speak, like even if you have like a bit of like a shaky voice, they feel like you're a very strong person. And I just feel like people can tell that there's a lot of experience behind your voice. And you know, maybe like for some reason I'm thinking about Britney Spears. Like I read somewhere that said like because of like how she was a singer, like I don't know what happened, but like basically she had to change her voice because of singing, or like singing changed her voice. So maybe, you know, you move around a lot, so you've picked up a lot of different terminology from like different people. And like maybe you say yes queen, or like you say stuff like that, you know, or like you just add like a lot of like words, or like you're very like you just say a lot of words, like you speak a lot, you know. But yeah, anyway, so your other cards are schedule stay. Definitely Pisces, guys, like literally. You could definitely be a Pisces rising, a Pisces sun, or like, you know, your voice is in Pisces, guys. Like that's a new placement, voice in Pisces. It's a real thing, okay? Look it up. So it says, water sign Pisces, I needed you while wanting more. And it's really interesting because this is all about the codependency. So I do feel like, you know, you probably, like even if you are very extroverted, I feel like maybe you don't always speak that much, or like I say, you don't always say what you're thinking. So people just feel like there's a lot more that they want you to say that you don't. But yeah, we got the Hierophant card, we got the Moon card, and then we also got the Emperor card. So we've got water, we've got fire, like we've got a whole lot of energies here, okay? But let's first get into your song. It says, say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anyway, I would have followed you. And now I'm feeling so small. I freaking love this song. And then as for your channeled message, it says, don't speak that much, extroverted. Oh my gosh, I was getting that. Like, you have a very soulful voice. Definitely you could be a black person, like, you know, soulful, beautiful, like you love listening to jazz. Like I was getting that soulful, powerful voice about you, bro, for real. And like there's even a vibe where it's like with the Emperor card and then the Moon card and the Hierophant, I feel like you even could be like maybe like a bigger person, or like you look a certain way, but then your voice does not match your personality, or your voice doesn't match your body at all. Because, you know, like I said, you could be an Aries, but like when you speak, it's very like sensitive and soft spoken, and very just like you can almost hear what you're saying, but you can't exactly hear what you're saying, you know. It's kind of like people have to lean in to hear what you're saying as well. So it's very like, I feel like it's tactical. Like I feel like you do it on purpose, you know, like, okay sis, I see you. And then it says, soul trapped in an old man, change your voice depending who you're with. Your voice travels. So I did say in pile number 1, like their voice depended on who they're busy talking to, and I feel like maybe it's similar to you as well, pile number 2. But yeah, your voice travels, bro, for real. I feel like especially if you are like, your voice is in Pisces or your voice is in Aries, just go along with it, guys, okay? I feel like if you're in Aries, bro, like, you know, you have a very loud voice, but at the same time, I feel like there are times when you speak very quiet, like you're very quiet, and I feel like people sometimes are kind of like, whoa, like what was that, you know? Like 1 minute you're talking and you're all extroverted, and then the next minute you're so quiet and you're not saying anything, and they're wondering, is something wrong? But yeah, I'm with horsing around, like I said, about, you know, just goofing around, being goofy, being funny, making jokes. So I just feel like I don't want to be rude, but sometimes people might think your voice is funny, but like not in a bad way. They just think it's funny because like how you look versus how you sound is so completely different, or like your choice of words, or like how you word things. Like it's like silly things, but it's like, it's sweet though. Like I like your voice, bro, for real, okay? And then as for the schedule stay card, I do feel like similar to pile number 1, but not as much. It's like your voice definitely is very dependent on who you're with, because I feel like if you are comfortable with someone, you'll speak maybe in your normal voice, or you'll speak in a certain like way, or you'll use a certain choice of words. But like when you're with other people, maybe you speak a bit differently. So I am seeing that as well, you know. Or maybe whenever you are talking on the phone with, like, maybe if you're busy ordering pizza, or if you're at a job interview, like you'll try to act maybe a bit more proper. And I can see people kind of being like, bro, stop playing, like what you doing, like no one believes you, like stop playing. Like I just keep hearing stop playing. So maybe you say that even, or people feel like, low-key, you sound like a player, like you sound like you've done this before. And then with the Pisces sign, where it says I needed you while wanting more, there is also a thing where it's like people want you to say more. I feel like yeah, like I said, people leaning into you, or like leaning forward, trying to see what you're saying, trying to hear what you're saying, because sometimes you speak very soft. And then the Hierophant card, I feel like, again, you know, it's like your voice deserves an audience. I feel like you have a lot of important things that like need to be said, and I feel like it's saying don't hold back what you want to say to the world. I feel like people are saying that if you speak up, they want to hear what you're saying, and people want to hear your opinion. And I just feel like whenever you do finally talk, and like you talk about what you're passionate about, people really enjoy that as well. I feel like that's when you're like your most authentic self. It's when you talk about what you love, and I can see people kind of like, they can see what you love and what you don't love just by your voice, basically. So say now you're at school and you're busy talking about life science, you're busy talking about meiosis or mitosis, like you're not going to sound super interested. But like, let's say you're busy reading your favorite book, it's like your voice, it just changes. It becomes more soulful, it becomes more authentic, more unique, and more true towards who you actually are on the inside. So it's really beautiful, because even with the Moon card, it's like your voice can really kind of like, it feels trapped in a way. Like I was getting something about being trapped, because the Moon card, it does talk about suppressed emotions, it talks about feelings, you know, deception. So I just feel like somehow your voice can really just create a lot of emotions. So maybe when you're really sad, people can kind of tell in your voice, because you sound sad. So if you woke up and you're sad, like people can hear it in your voice. It's like, yeah, like your voice, like it's magnifique, okay? And then the Emperor card, like I said, being a bit loud and just like, you know, doing what you want to do and like saying what's on your mind and stuff like that. So that is what I got for pile number 2. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is our pile number 3? Let's get straight into your reading. So what do people think about your voice? So we got your song of the year, which is Never Forget You by Zara Larsson and MNEK. And then we got your channel message at the back as well. Literally, I'm so freaking excited, like, oh my word. But like for some reason, I'm also feeling a bit anxious. So I do feel like pile number 3, people could feel like sometimes your voice is very panicky, you know. Maybe you speak very fast and like people can't always make out what you're busy saying. And I know I'm guilty of that as well. People always say that to me, so sorry, but I'm excited. But yeah, I feel like you talk really fast, and you kind of like you rush through your words sometimes. People kind of feel like your voice is like a train, and either you're going to be there at the train stop, the bus stop, and you're going to hear what you're saying, or you miss the bus, better luck next time type vibe. So I also feel like people sometimes feel like your voice is kind of like a code, like maybe you speak in metaphors, or like, yeah, you speak in metaphors, because I'm seeing something about people trying to decipher what you're trying to say, or people like wondering like, wow, like when they spoke about this, like did they actually mean this? Or I just see people kind of trying to, like I said, dissect your words and just like digest your words even. So it's like dissect, ingest, but anyways, let's get into your cards. And also, by the way, the card that I'm going to be using to channel your energy is the Flashlight card. So I'll link down the song Flashlight by Jessie J, where it's like, I gotta, okay, yo, guys, that was so bad, I'm so sorry, I can't sing, but okay. So the first card that we have is the moon in fire sign. So it is Aries, Leo, Sag. You look different when I tell you how I feel. Oh my gosh, guys, like for some reason I really feel like you could be a fire sign, or like you have a lot of fire sign placements or something. And like for some reason I also feel like you could be a water sign, or you could even be like an air sign, and like you have no fire placements at all, but like people always think that you're a Leo or a Sag or an Aries. Like people never get your zodiac sign right. Like they're always like, no bro, you're a Leo, you're way too confident, like 100% you're a Leo. And it's like, no, I'm a Cancer, I'm a Pisces, no, like, you know what I mean? So there is that vibe as well. And then we also got the when you say it like that card. So we do got the synchronicities, okay? And then as for your tarot cards, we got the Temperance card again with the Sagittarius energy. Like I'm really getting you could be a fire sign. And then we got the Nine of Pentacles and the Death card. Wow. Okay, I see you. Let's first get into your song. It says, I used to be so happy, but without you here, I feel so low. I watched you as you left, but I can never seem to let you go. I'll never forget you. Guys, this song is so close to my heart. Like when I tell you the song made me cry, it made me cry. And then as for your channel message, we got the, ooh, you sound sad when you speak. Expressive voice, big vocabulary. People can tell you think about what you say, and you make good impressions on people. That is so interesting. So yeah, I feel like with the moon in fire sign, where it's like you look different when I tell you how I feel, people feel like sometimes maybe you speak really fast because you aren't maybe confident in your choice of words, or you aren't really confident in yourself. So I do feel like sometimes when you speak, maybe you sound a bit sad, you sound a bit down, and it's just like maybe you're afraid of what people are going to think about you, so you won't maybe say what you're thinking. And I feel like that's actually a reoccurring theme that's coming up in like at least the last two cards that I did. But pile number 1 and pile number 2. But yeah, I just feel like people kind of treat you differently when they hear your voice for some reason. Maybe it could be for a good reason, or it could be for a bad reason. But I just feel like people will meet you, and then as soon as you say something, they're like, oh shit, like you mean business. It's like for some reason, maybe you have like a bit of like a bitchy tone, or like you sound like a bit of a bitch, guys. Like I'm gonna be honest, but like who doesn't love being a bitch? Like you're amazing, okay? But I just feel like people kind of don't want to mess with you. So like whenever you say something, it sounds really kind of like I don't care about you, like shut the fuck up type vibe. Like that's how you sound. Like you sound just like you're tired. It's like it's 7 a.m. Why are you talking to me? I'm tired. I don't want to talk to you. I want to go home. Just read my mind. Like what is your problem? Like that's how you sound. But like not in a bad way, just in a very like honest and realistic way. And I feel like those are the best people. You sound realistic. You sound like, I don't want to say like boring or bland, because you don't have a boring or bland voice, like by no means. Like you could have a very big vocabulary and like a very expressive voice. So it's kind of like your voice is kind of like it goes up and down, where it's like, hello, how are you doing today? And it's actually similar to like Thai language. So that's a tonal language. So obviously when you're speaking, you have to listen listen to the tones. There's the mid tone, the low tone, the high tone. And then also in Chinese, there's a bunch of tones. Japanese, like, you know, maybe you like your first language, it's a tonal language. Or people just feel like, again, where it's like you speak with like a pitch accent basically. But yeah, like I just feel like I was getting something about like, why are you talking to me? So people sometimes feel like you don't really feel like, you don't seem interested in like, you know, conversation, or you don't really like talking to people. You're kind of just like, what? Okay, yeah, fine. It's like that's how people like kind of perceive your voice, but like in a good way. Like I just feel like it's very realistic. It's not like a thing where it's like you're trying to put on a mask or something. It's like, this is who you are. Like, you know, you're tired. And like, I feel you, fam. I feel you. And yeah, when we also got the when you say like that card, that talks about just like literally saying it in a certain way. So I feel like similar to what I said about the mask now, actually, I feel like even though you don't put a mask on, I feel like you're able to kind of mask your emotion sometimes through your voice. So you could be feeling really sad about something, but like you'll make it seem like you're completely okay. Or I feel like you can get away with certain things because it comes out of your mouth, you know. It's kind of like, you know, when you're younger and you want to have a sleepover with your cousin or something, and then you send your cousin to go ask your parents. It's like people feel like because you have this really nice and like charming voice, they feel like if you were to ask something or if you were to do something, like, you know, you would basically get away with it. They see you as having a very mischievous voice as well. Very like, you know, like you're up to something, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, those people that don't talk that much, they have the most overactive imaginations in the entire world. And I just feel like people see you as having that really overactive imagination. And yeah, with the flashlight, I also do feel like it's also saying that you don't run out of things to talk about. So I feel like when you actually are feeling engaged in a conversation, it's like you can just go back and forth, like, you know, you just keep talking and talking, and it's kind of like I said, you speak very fast. It's kind of like, you know, it's like this thing where it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like okay, 1 2 3 4 1 2. It's like that fast energy, you know. Or like you speak like a dancer where it's like you're out of breath and you're like, oh, da, 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 da. Like I feel like I'm not making any sense, guys, but I hope you're like with me still. And yeah, then we also got the Temperance card. So I do feel like maybe you have a very phlegmy throat, so sometimes you always have to kind of clear your throat. You always have to be like ahem, ahem. Or like you have a very like, you know, like you have sinus, so like whenever you speak sometimes like you sound a bit like what's the word, congestulated, or like you sound a bit like you speak like I'm not trying to make fun of you guys, but I just feel like you sound like, you know, like there's something stuck up your ass. I feel like I'm being so mean. I'm sorry, guys. I love you. Mwah. I love you. But there is a vibe, like, you know, sometimes like if you have sinus, or like, guys, and I feel the struggle, like I don't have sinus, but like a lot of my friends have sinus and my dad has sinus. Like I get the struggle. So I feel like maybe sometimes people can kind of hear that like you're tired, or like you're just aren't in the mood to talk basically. And there's an airplane, so I'm just gonna anyway, sorry about that, guys. So the next card that we got is the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like also people see you as having a very, you know, sensual voice, very, very, very sensual. I feel like sometimes you can even give people goosebumps with the words you say, like, okay sis, I see you. It's like I can see people talking to you being a bit like, whoa, like, is anyone else getting goosebumps, or like, why am I feeling so turned on right now? Like they like, what's going on? Like you can make like, you know, boring things just sound very exciting as well, because you have that voice. And then with the Death card, like I said, that does talk about, you know, ending things. So I just feel like you don't speak that much, you know, like you could be an extrovert, you could be what, you know, whatever, but I just feel like sometimes there is a bit of like a hint of sadness when it comes to you, or it's kind of like people just feel like sometimes your voice, like it's very dry, or it's very croaky. Sometimes it's kind of like I said about having to clear your throat. But yeah, I think that people really do actually like your voice though. So yeah, guys, that is what I got for part number 3. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is up, part number 4? Let's get straight into your reading. So what do people think about your voice? Alrighty, so the song that we got for you is Buffering by Jeffrey Dallas, and I freaking love the song, guys. Like please go and listen to it and tell me what you think. Like, it's a funny song, but like I really like it though. And then we also got your channel message at the back. And then as for the card that I'm going to be using to channel your energy, we got the Bobby card. Okay, so I do feel like sometimes, like, maybe some people feel like your voice is very plain Jane, but like another thing that I'm busy getting, like, you know, very heavily is people find your voice to be very, like, you know, intoxicating. I feel like people can just listen to you talk for hours and hours. And like, even the song where it's like, I'll get into it now, but I really do feel like yeah, people just feel like your voice is very, like, therapeutic. It's just very, like, you know, calming. And you know, people that always say, oh, I can imagine you being, like, you know, a voice actor, or I can imagine you having your own podcast or something. I feel like literally, guys, pile number 4, it's so true. I feel like your voice is just so calming, so nurturing, so sweet. And it's kind of like you remind people of, like, maybe their mom or their dad, their uncle. Like, I just feel like you have such, like, a paternal, I think that's the right way to say it, paternal, like, vibe and sense about you, where it's just like people feel like, oh, like, everything's gonna be okay type vibe, you know. Like, you know, Corp's husband, like, I don't know if you know who he is, like, I'll put his picture over here, but he's really popular on YouTube right now because he has a very deep voice, and like, people like to sexualize his voice, which, you know, isn't okay. But like, anyways, I had a point to that. I'm just trying to say, I really feel like people kind of find your voice to be really amazing. And it's kind of like some people literally will just, like, you know, want you to talk about anything just so that they can hear you talk, because they love your voice that much. So I do feel like if there is one specific person that you want to wonder, if you're wondering, you know, do they find your voice annoying? By no means. Like, bro, there's no way in hell they love your voice, okay? That's on period, on God, okay? But yeah, let's get into your cards. So the first card that we got is the water sign Scorpio, and it says, understand my eyes, not my actions. Okay, so I do feel like you know, they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. I feel like for some reason your voice is the window to people's vaginas. I don't know what that expression means. You can tell me, you know, however you interpret it. But like, for some reason I just feel like when people hear your voice, like, I'm just getting Corp's husband, because literally, guys, like, you don't understand, whenever people hear his voice, like, they're just like, oh my gosh, like, daddy, like, literally they just, like, immediately are like, bro, yeah, like, he's so hot, you know. And I feel like when people first hear your voice, they're like, damn, bro, like, you're hot as fuck. So for example, let's say you're in a Zoom meeting and you have your camera off, and like, you're busy talking or something like that, or like anything, like, you're on a phone call with someone. I just feel like people think, like, if somebody had to just hear your voice and like not know what you look like, people will imagine you looking so attractive just because your voice is so magnetic and like so just endearing, so nice, so sensual, so all the nice things, all the beautiful adjectives. Okay, so yeah, I just feel like people find you to be very attractive, or they feel like because you have a nice voice, that means, you know, ergo, you're an attractive person as well. And there's an airplane, sorry. Anyways, so as for the next card that we have, we got the Only Mine card, okay? And then for your tarot cards, we got the 4 swords that came up, right? Ooh, I was getting this. Like, I was really getting this. And then we got the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. Guys, for real. Like, I just feel like your voice is like a riot. Like, it's literally like, you know, a part in the USA. Like, I'll link it down below. Like, I just feel like when people hear your voice, they're kind of like, they're ready to party. It's like when people hear your voice, they know that things are about to get turned. They know things are about to, you know, get lit. It just feels like it's like this energy where it's like a weight lifted off their chest. I just feel like people really do enjoy your voice, and it's really nice, okay? But yeah, let's get into your song. So let's get into your song. It says, I swear that I could watch you for hours. Now I know that I just found you, but I've never been so sure. You make me laugh until I cry. Like I said, I love the song. And then as for your channel message, it says, people speak over you. People love your voice because of what you say. Your accent goes away when you sing. Interesting. Speak to me. Whoa, guys. So I feel like definitely there is one specific person that really wants to talk to you, and I just feel like my dad just like heard everything I said. Oops, I did it again. Okay, But yeah, let's get into it. So with the water sign Scorpio card, I feel like people just feel like you'd be amazing at phone sex, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting 18 plus vibes, like, for real, guys. I feel like when people first hear your voice, they're kind of thinking like, because literally, even where it says like, understand my eyes, not my opinion, and then it says like, people love your voice because of what you say. It just feels like when people first hear your voice, it's like sometimes people can, like, because I was getting that vibe where it's like people are busy talking over you, but I feel like sometimes people don't always think about what you have to say because of maybe they think, oh, you're just some, like, pretty person, or you're just some attractive person, like you probably have nothing important to say. And like, that may sound really bad or something, but I just feel like and this is energy where it's like people love listening to you talk, but it's like they don't always pay attention to what you say. So I feel like, you could be talking about something really important, and sometimes people like won't even like pay attention to you. There is something about like your voice kind of blending into a crowd as well. And I feel like sometimes you don't always kind of speak over people, It's saying like, if someone's busy interrupting you while you're busy speaking, say, excuse me, I'm not done speaking. Like, period, I just feel like people feel like sometimes you don't always voice your opinions, but like, as for just like, your voice in general, it is like, very, very sexy, because Scorpio is the most, seductive and sexiest signs ever, Scorpios and Capricorns, period, and like Libras, ooh, but like, don't get me started, okay? I just feel like it's kind of like your voice is very important to you. I feel like that is true, but I feel like at the same time, I feel like people kind of think more about maybe like what you say, or they think more about like how you look, or people like, they don't think about your voice as much as they think about maybe your face or your body language, because I feel like maybe you speak with your hands a lot, and people kind of understand you better by looking at your hands, because they can't always understand what you're trying to say. It's just this energy where it's like your voice is only a part of who you are. So yeah, and like, you even could have an accent and then it goes away when you sing. Or I just feel like people think it's really interesting that like sometimes when you're busy talking, like, you'll switch, you know what I mean? So like, say now, for example, like, I'll say like, for me, like, say now, like, I was about to say something. Like, say now, for example, like, I say in South Africa, right? Like, say now, I'm lambing here by myself. Now, you guys can see, I said lambing. You guys don't know what lambing means. But, like, where I'm from, like, we say lambing like it's nothing. But, like, it's just like the energy where it's like you're talking, like you're saying, yes, yes, yes. And it's like, yeah, bruh, I was lambing over here, man. Like, cookie, so, bruh. It's like that energy where it's like, you probably don't even know what I said. I'll put subtitles. But like, it's just that energy where it's like you're talking, and then you just switch all of a sudden. So, and it's like sometimes people don't always take you seriously because they just think that like you're gonna say something very predictable. So I feel like people can always anticipate what you're gonna say, but like I said, they feel like your voice is very therapeutic. And then with the Only Man card, I also feel like people like that, you don't talk to everyone. I feel like you only speak when you feel like you need to speak. Like, you're not gonna just be chatting. Like, you're not like a chatty Kathy or whatever. I feel like you speak when you're spoken to, and like, you're not going to be the first person to also make the conversation. I feel like people like kind of your whole mindset on talking and like, voicing your opinions, because there's a time and place for everything. I feel like you have a very informal way of speaking as well. I feel like I don't know how to say it, but it's kind of like, how language has adapted over the years, where you got formal tone, then you got informal tone. I feel like you speak in a very informal way, and people think it's really relatable. They think it's just really nice, and it's kind of like comforting to know that like you're there for me, like it's nice, like that therapeutic vibe. So I feel like, when it comes to how you speak, like, you'll use words that people understand. Like, you won't use like, overtly big words so people don't understand what you're saying. You like to, like, I don't want to say dumb things down, but I feel like you try to speak in a very watered down way to people sometimes. But yeah, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, just about you having a very informal tone. So people like that about you, where it's like, the way that you talk to your parents is the same way you talk to your best friends. Like, that's how people find your voice. It's just like, it's like that nice thing where it's like, okay, I'm talking to a friend, like, I can trust you. Like, you have a very trusting voice. People feel like they can trust you just because of your voice. So yeah. And then with the Four of Swords, that does talk about also like abstinence. It talks about like, you know, biting your tongue. So I do feel like sometimes people feel like when you're busy talking, like maybe you sound like you're actually in pain, or like you just don't like talking that much, you know, you're very like introvert, so you don't like talking that much. But like I was getting something about biting your tongue for some reason, like actually biting your tongue, or that anxious energy as well. But I feel like people just feel like you speak, like I say, when you want to speak, and like you'll, and like I just feel like it's not a big deal. Your voice is very nonchalant, very kind of like, oh yes, I did this today, I'm really bored. Like it's just very like, you know, it rolls off the tongue as well, definitely. And then we got the Five of Pentacles. I do feel like, however, some people are kind of a bit like, excuse me, can you talk to me in a more formal way? Like, why are you being so disrespectful? Like, I am seeing that vibe a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm seeing some people saying like, can you please speak in a more formal tone? Like in Afrikaans, right? So like if you want to be respectful, you would say E instead of J, or like you would say like that type of thing, you know. Or like you're in English, like you would say ma'am instead of you know what I mean? It's just about replacing pronouns and like, you know, trying to be a bit more respectful. So I do feel like it's either A, where it's like you're always trying to be very respectful, or B, you're like the complete opposite and like you just don't even care about like that type of thing as well. And then with the Three of Cups, that does talk about, like I said, having fun, letting go, letting loose, and like you talk to people like they're your best friend, and I just feel like it's very comforting and it's really nice as well. So yeah guys, that is what I got for pile number 4. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is at pile number 5? Let's get straight into your reading. So what do people think about your voice? What do people think when they hear your voice? So as for your song, we got Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars, and then we also got your channel message at the back. And then as for the card that I'm going to be using to channel your energy, we got the Un and Tu card, okay? But you guys, super sorry if you can hear the airplanes. Like, there are so many by my house, I don't even know why. But yeah, so some messages that I was busy hearing for you guys. Like I'm hearing something about like people feel like your voice is low-key a bit scary, you know what I mean? I feel like when you're angry, it's kind of like people are like, oh shit, like that was scary, bro. Or I feel like it's like this thing where it's like you can talk to adults, you know, maybe you're like really young and like you have a very like, you know, very young and youthful voice, where it's just like your voice, like you just sound like a young person, you know. Like say now somebody called you on the phone, people might even like mistake you for being like, you know, a teenager or a toddler or something, but like in reality you're in your mid-30s, your mid-40s or something. And I just feel like, yeah, people are always assuming that like you're way younger than you actually are because of your voice. And maybe it's also like you also look young as well, so it's kind of like you just seem very young, youthful, and just like that type of energy. So I am seeing people being a bit taken aback when you do speak, because they're like, oh shit, like you're actually really educated, and like, oh shit, like you're actually really smart, you know. So there is that vibe as well. I just feel like people always do a double take when they hear you talking. Or maybe it's kind of like you have a very deep alto voice, and I can see people feeling like, whoa, like your voice is so deep, but like it's really nice though at the same time. Like I remember there was this one girl at my school, and like I think we were in grade 6 or something, or grade 5, grade 4, whatever. And like she had a really deep voice, and she was really insecure about it, but I feel like I liked her voice, and I just feel like yeah, maybe you're insecure about your voice or something, but I think people really do like it though, for real. Like it's not that big a deal. But yeah, let's get into your cards. So the first card that we got is the Venus in a water sign. So it says, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, was that my tears or my ... Okay, interesting. I feel like guys, part number 5, you can definitely probably make people come just by talking to them or something. I feel like whenever, like, I think like people like listening to you talk because I don't even know how to say it, guys, but it's like, you know, sometimes when someone talks to you, you can just feel it in your entire body. Like you can just feel them talking, you can feel their presence everywhere. And I feel like that's how people feel about your voice. It's kind of like you can't miss it, and it's right there staring at you, and it's kind of like it makes you feel very vulnerable. So I do see some people kind of shying away from you because they feel like you have a very intense voice, a very deep voice, or just like a very like scary voice, like I say, where it's kind of like like I said, you can't escape it, and it's kind of everywhere. So maybe you talk very loud, or people are kind of worried about like what you say about people also behind their back or something. Or I'm seeing people feel like sometimes maybe, like I said, if you do have a very deep voice, or you have a very like naturally, youthful, very bouncy voice, like you have a very flirtatious voice, I feel like sometimes people might mistake your friendliness or your voice, like your normal voice, for being flirtatious. And I can see some people feeling like sometimes they feel like there's a time and place for everything, and I feel like sometimes people want you to, maybe, I don't want to say change your voice, but I feel like I am seeing some people being a bit like, can't you just like do this for me, can't you just like like change the way you are basically for me, which is completely contradictory to the song that we have as well. But yeah, the next card that we got is After 9 p.m. and this is a reference from How I Met Your Mother. Let me know if you guys know what this means, After 9 p.m. But yeah, let's see your tarot cards. We got the Knight of Cups that came up, right? I was getting that, like, people feel like you have a very romantic voice. Very romantic, guys. Oh, I can already tell. 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. It's like people feel like sometimes you make things more difficult than they need to be. Or I just feel like if you have a very, like I said, like I know I said you have a very youthful voice. Like I feel like it's this energy where it's kind of like either you speak really like, hi, it's nice to meet you, da, da, da. Like you speak like that, very like, happy, excited and everything. And people kind of feel like it's a bit like, bro, like I'm tired, like can you just like, like not do that right now? Or like, are you trying to have sex with me right now? Like, okay, let me backtrack. There's other person that I know, right? I was gonna say their name, but like this is one person that I know, and every time my friend talks to this one person, they always talk in like such a low, seductive voice, and I'm always like, bro, that's not your real voice. Like he's always like, hey man, like that's how he talks all the time, and I feel like, but then literally I heard him talking at break, and like that's how he sounds like all the time. So I feel like sometimes people are busy mistaking your friendliness for like you flirting, or people sometimes feel like you're fake, but I feel like that's actually just who you are, like as a person basically. But yeah, people feel like you have a very romantic voice, and it's kind of like, are you trying to sleep with me, or like what are you doing? Okay, because like I say, people can feel your voice all over, okay, especially down below. But yeah, I'm gonna link down a multi-fandom of Un and Tu if I can find one as well. So let's get into your song. It says, oh, her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. And then as for your channeled message, it says, you bite your tongue when you speak, gritted teeth, lump in your throat, make me lean in, you do it on purpose. And then it says bar scene. Ooh, I think this is about How I Met Your Mother again. So like a lot of How I Met Your Mother is coming up. Like I'll link down some How I Met Your Mother videos. But yeah, basically the bar scene is kind of like that thing where it's like, hi, I'm Ted, nice to meet you. Like I just feel like people see you as being very, like I say, very romantic, very seductive, and it's like you speak, like when you speak to people, like maybe you speak through your teeth, like like you won't move your mouth that much, or people feel like you speak in a very monotone as well. So like when you talk, you'll be like, hello, shashamuchu, like that type of thing, where it's kind of like you speak like, what's that guy, like Twilight, like Edward Collins, like when he speaks, like he's always biting down on his jaw, and like he speaks like it hurts to speak or something. So like people get that energy from you as well, like you're out of some like teen romance movie, and it's like, why are you talking like you're from the 1970s? Like bro, it's 2021. But like it's a timeless read, and you can like watch this whenever you want to. So I am seeing that a bit, but like I feel like people just feel like sometimes you speak with like a lot of purpose, and it's kind of like people wonder like are you trying to maybe make people like you, or are you trying to make people want you or something? So I am seeing people like wondering like your voice, like do you talk like that because it's easier, because like that type of thing as well. But anyways, so as for the Venus in water sign, where it's like, was that my tears and my ... I just feel like people feel like your voice is very emotional. I feel like you have a very emotional voice. I feel like you'd be really good in theater or something. You're very dramatic. I feel like maybe also you like pronounce words, but like differently. Like say now like, you know, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Like I see people kind of think of it like, are you saying potato on purpose? Like, you know, nobody says potato. Like I'm seeing people saying like, you talk like you're from, like I said, the 1970s or like the 19th century or something like that, you know. It's like you have a very, like, you know, an old register basically when it comes to how you speak. And then with the after 9 p.m, I also do feel like you have a really attractive, like, you know, sleepy voice. Like I feel like when you wake up in the morning, and you know, guys, you know what I'm talking about if you're a guy and you're busy watching this, or like, you know, whichever gender. Like, you know, when you get those voice notes from someone and it's like, morning babe, I just woke up, like, you know, that type of thing. People feel like you do that on purpose or something. Or it's like people, it just feels like people feel like your voice, it's kind of like very self-aware. Like your voice is self-aware. So like it's like, you know what you're doing, fam. But yeah, people like that really sleepy, like, you know, like the word croaky voice and everything. And yeah, Knight of Cups, like I say, very romantic. The Ten of Wands, that does talk about kind of putting too much on your plate. So people sometimes feel like when you speak, it's kind of like a bit of like a mouthful, where it's like maybe sometimes you'll try to say a word, but then it's like it doesn't want to come out. So like maybe you're trying to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but then you're like super galagger, like, you know, like you'll be like like you'll just start slurring on your own words, or you'll just start like going back and retracting your statements basically. So yeah, I just feel like people want you to not try as hard. And then with the 9 of Wands, this does talk about being a bit kind of like guarded. And again, we've got the synchronicities with the 9 and the 9, so then maybe like 9 could be your life path number as well, or like the enneagram, like you could be a number 9. So I am seeing that as well. But yeah, people think your voice is really cool. They just feel like sometimes you're really guarded, and they feel like you're very self-aware, and it's kind of like I said, very, very, very self-aware, just like super self-aware. But like comment down below part number 5 if you guys chose this, because I want to know more about you, because you seem like a really interesting person. But yeah, anyways, that is what I got for your reading. I really hope it resonated, and yeah, let's get into the next one. What is up, pile number 6? Let's get straight into your reading. So what do people think about your voice? The song that we got for you is Last Friday Night by Katy Perry, and then we also got your channeled message at the back. And the card that I'm going to be using to channel your energy is the Talking Aloud card. And like for some reason, guys, I feel like you could definitely be an Aquarius or a Pisces. Like I'm getting Pisces, Aquarius, or an Aries. So yeah, and like some messages that I'm busy getting is also people feel like your voice is kind of like very, how can I say, it has a lot of experience behind it, you know. I feel like maybe English isn't for your first language, and it's kind of like you have to kind of pronounce words more. Or I feel like people see your voice is kind of like very like pronounced. Like it just feels like whenever you say something, like maybe you say like, you know, the r, like if you say red, like in South Africa we say red, we don't say red. Like, okay, I'm sorry for making fun of you guys, but like we say red, or like, yeah. So I feel like people kind of see your voice as being very pronounced. Like, you know, you'll say red, or like if something ends on like, you know, a hard D or like a hard T, like you'll say 10 instead of 10, you know what I mean? Or like you'll say water instead of water. Like I'm getting that type of thing. So it's like you pronounce all the syllables in all the words that you speak, and I think people think it's really cool though. Like I think they really do. Oh guys, sorry, this is my cable. But anyways, I also do feel like people think that your voice is also kind of like, you know, like it's like it starts a party, because literally the song's like Last Friday Night, and then we've got the card talking about talking aloud. So I do feel like maybe like you mumble sometimes. So whenever you're thinking about something, like you'll be like, maybe if you're doing a math problem, like you'll start saying the things out loud. Or like when you get really angry, like you really shout and you're very expressive, you use your hands. And I feel like people just feel like they can imagine your voice just like, you know, being at a party, or they can imagine you just kind of like, you know, like shouting and being loud and very expressive and everything. But yeah, anyways, let's get straight into your cards. So the first card that we got for you is the air sign Libra. So it says, connected through my words or my feelings. And like, look, I feel like it's really dark. Okay, wait. Okay, that's better. So that is the Libra card. The next card that we got is the Tell You 4. So it's interesting that we got so much like, speaking and talking. So I really do feel like people find your voice to be very talkative, or I just feel like people really like listening to what you have to say. They like listening to your words, your voice, and they kind of feel like whenever you tell a story, you kind of bring it to life as well. I feel like maybe you read bedtime stories to children, or it's just very expressive, and I feel like I don't even know how to describe it, guys, but it's just like, some people, when they tell you a story, it's like you feel like you're actually there and you're actually experiencing everything. I feel like that's how people kind of find your voice. They find it like in this way where it's like they feel like they're actually there with you. Like even if you're on a phone call, like they just feel like they're actually with you, and it's like a really nice thing because it just feels like your voice travels through the phone, and it's like it makes you feel like you're actually there with the person, and it's really nice. So I feel like with quarantine and everything, you've probably been doing okay, because people are just like, no, it's fine, like I'm still with you, if that makes any sense. But yeah, anyway, so the cards, you guys also got like the most cards, part number 6. But yeah, we got the 7 of Swords that came upright. Okay, so we got the 7 of Swords, we got the Tower card, we got the Page of Cups, and then we also got the Empress card. Interesting. So let's first get into your song. It says, there's a stranger in my bed, there's a pounding in my head, glitter all around my room. Last Friday night, we danced on tabletop. So I really do feel like I said, people just feel like whenever you speak, they feel like they're actually there with you. They just feel like a very close connection with you as well. I feel like whenever you speak to people, it's a very intimate thing. I feel like for some reason people just feel very intimate whenever they hear your voice. So that is really like interesting. And then as for your channeled message, it says, you speak from experience. Bro, I promise you, I didn't even look at the channeled message before I started. Like literally I got that way. It's like, you speak from experience. You sound sexy and seductive, very hopeful. You even get the quiet ones to talk. And then it says relatable. So I just feel like your voice is kind of like a thing where it's like playing tag. Like when you say something, somebody else wants to reply to you. I feel like your voice makes people want to talk to you. I feel like it's this thing where it's like, if you say something to someone, they want to talk to you, they want to engage with you, they want to talk about whatever you're busy talking about. And it's like this thing where it's like, you talk, then I talk, you talk, then I talk. And it's amazing. Like it's a beautiful flow of connections and just flow of communication. And it's like amazing communication. But yeah, and like where it says connected through my words or my feelings, I really feel like people just get this essence from me where it's like whenever you're busy speaking, you're really talking about your emotions, and people can just really feel that whenever you're busy telling a story, you truly mean everything that you say. And I feel like another thing is people can really tell when you're lying, because I feel like when you're lying, maybe you get really you start stuttering, or when you're lying, like you have a very high voice, or you'll be like or like you have a certain catchphrase that you say. Like I just feel like people can really tell when you're lying because of your voice as well. Like your voice is a dead giveaway for real. But yeah, they love like talking to you as well. And then where it says tell you for, that just talks about, like saying tell you for what, like why should I tell you that? So I feel like also people get this feeling that your voice is also very secretive. I feel like you're very seductive with your words, and I feel like people also feel like as much as you talk like a lot and you talk loud and everything, they also feel like it's like you have a point, and like you want people to kind of see your perspective. And I feel like people can understand your perspective because of your voice. Or it's just like I said, about all your experience. It could be your accent, it could be anything, but people just feel like they understand you better. They can kind of connect to you on a deeper level because of your voice as well. And that is so interesting and so deep. So definitely you could be a very spiritual person as well, because the Tower card is also spiritual awakening. So yeah. And then with the 7 of Swords, this talks about like sneaking around people. So I feel like you have a very sneaky voice. You know what I mean? Like, those kids that are like, I'm not even kids, anyone. I feel like when people first hear you like say something, they think, damn, like you seem like a really sneaky person. Like you seem like someone that's like, always up to mischief. You just seem super like, it's hard to catch you, hard to pin you down and everything. So it makes people kind of want to know more about you as well. So it's really interesting. And then with the Tower card, I also do kind of see maybe your voice cracking sometimes, or your voice or you stuttering, or I see you like, yeah, not really finishing your sentences or not really finishing your story sometimes, like, you know, leaving people on a cliffhanger. So I feel like people feel like your voice is something where it's like you always end it, or like you always end conversations very quickly, and it's kind of like they're saying, bro, like what happens next? Like it's listening to a story where they're saying, tell me the ending, like, you know, is it a happy ending, a sad ending, like what is the ending? So I just feel like people wish you didn't kind of leave them on such a cliffhanger as well. And then with the Page of Cups, people definitely are very surprised by your voice. I feel like yeah, they're surprised by your voice. I feel like they just really enjoy listening to you. Like they want you to just, like, you know, talk and talk and talk, and like they wouldn't even get bored, like for real. And then with the Empress card, that does talk about, you know, beauty, feminine energy. It talks about just literally like, it's like this energy where it's like your voice can't be touched by anyone else as well. So I feel like, you know, no matter who you're talking to, your voice doesn't change as well. And like for all the other pals, like people's voices would usually change depending who they're talking to, but I feel like for pile number 6, your voice is just very attractive. I feel like it's very sensual, and like I said, it has this very it has this thing where it's like you're talking from experience and people believe you. I just feel like your voice even makes people feel gullible, or it's like your voice can make people, like, you know, mermaids, I think it's in Pirates of the Caribbean or like in Once Upon a Time, but like there are these mermaids and they can basically make someone fall in love with them just by speaking. And I feel like people kind of get that energy from you as well, where it's like they just feel like if you could, like, you're like seducing them with your words, or you're seducing them with your voice or something. But yeah, guys, okay guys, so yeah, that's what I got for pile number 6. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down other video suggestions as well, and I'll see y'all in the next one. So like, I want to make it a thing where I just show you guys what I look like at the end of the video. This is what I looked like the whole time, guys. Oops, I'm sorry, this is my mic. I don't want to, I'm sorry. But yeah, love y'all. See you in the next one. Bye.